Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Art of Honor, everyone. My name is Honor, your host for today, and today we're going to do something a little bit different than all those video games that I've been playing. Today I'm going to teach you guys how I do art. Alright, this is not gonna work for everyone. It works for me, but it might work for you. Basically, I'm just here sharing on whatever I have learned on as my journey as through an artist. I've been drawing for ever since I could hold a pencil, and yeah, I think I've been using that talent and skill for such a long time. Okay, so today I'm gonna teach you how to draw. This is first gonna be how to start. This is gonna be like a little mini series that we're gonna do. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this mini series. It's gonna be really fun. So the main series, let's see. This series is gonna consist of three main points. One is gonna be inspiration. Second is gonna be practice. Third is gonna be execution. Each of these will be focusing on how I do art and also how my thought process goes through whenever I do art. Now, whenever you go through with each of these, think of this as a cycle. It's a cycle. It goes on and on and on and on. It's gonna be never ending as long as you make an artwork. So these are the three things that I usually think about when I start doing a new artwork. Alright, so on the first episode, we're gonna look at inspiration. Now, what is inspiration? Inspiration is defined as a good idea or a creative influence or stimulus. So basically, it's something that keeps your mind going and going. That's what inspiration is. Inspiration is something, I think, if you go into the art community, a lot of people are gonna start saying, who's your inspiration? How's your inspiration? Why is your inspiration? When is your inspiration? Or something like that. Each person has a different inspiration because each person is unique and they have different tastes, and their taste causes them to get that inspiration. So inspiration can be a lot of things, here's some different types of inspiration, shall we? Probably is a very common one are artists. How about the movies we watch or the video games that we play? There's a lot of things that can go around there. So that's the reason why each of these inspirations are there. So the first thing that you have to consider whenever you're having inspiration is it always draws to something that you like. Just like I said a while ago, each person has a unique taste towards them. So each taste influences their inspiration. An inspiration is always in the basis of something that you would want. That's the reason why you have this entire thing over here. As a beginner, or even if you're not a beginner, or as long as you're starting an artwork, normally you would want to start on something that you personally like. No one can dictate it. No one can influence, and people can influence you. No one can dictate it, and no one can change that. Unless, it can be influenced, but it'll still be you. That's your inspiration. That's your good idea. Now you have to draw whatever gets you inspired. So when you get inspired with those artists, movies, or games, you could draw whatever you want. You could draw the characters in the game. You can draw the characters in the game. You can even draw landscapes. And you can draw a lot of other stuff that I'm pretty sure you would want to draw. You could draw, paint, or do anything with that. So if it's something that you like. If you watch the movie called Soul from Disney and Pixar, you probably would know from the movie. Quick spoilers for those who haven't actually watched it, but for those who watch the movie, the main character dies and then he ends up getting into the afterlife. But instead of going straight to the afterlife, he ends up going to the great beginning, which basically is where souls are set before they go to their earthly bodies. Now, in that movie, they have to have this set of personalities. Another one of the things that is part of that badge thing is their spark. Now, their spark is their inspiration, and that's basically the last thing they can get before they go down to earth. Same thing with this. Our inspiration is basically finding your spark. You get inspired because you get that spark becomes a flame, becomes inspiration, and your inspiration becomes motivation, and that motivation becomes momentum. It gains momentum, and then you're a green lean killing machine, or more like green lean drawing machine, and that's how you get to have all these all these stuff. That's the beauty about inspiration. Inspiration fuels you. It's your fuel. It's basically the fuel to the car that you have. Got a little fuel can over here. Alright, that's what your inspiration is. Your inspiration is your fuel to what you can go through. And that inspiration, you just have to find it. Just like I said, it's own different. So you have your own fuel. A car that runs on gasoline can't run on diesel. A car that runs on diesel can't also run on gasoline. So you each have to find your fuel and your inspiration. So you might be saying, Honor, are you saying that we need to have movies and games in order for you to actually get inspired by something? Well, not necessarily as well, because something that a lot of artists tend to have, aside from just other artists, movies, and games, is also one. This is a very big factor, and this can help you tremendously. Is that look at nature. Right? You have to look at nature. When you look at nature, you're gonna end up having all these ideas coming out, because whatever you see is what you get. What you see is what comes into your mind, and whatever it comes into your mind is what you're gonna start passing on and what you're gonna visualize, and that's what you're gonna start drawing all around. So that's what you're gonna have to do for inspiration. Another thing that you can do for inspiration is having this mutual benefit of having a community. I don't mean community as the TV show. It's that, but that's a good TV show though. I guarantee you that. You try watching it. But like, yes, you have to find yourself getting with other people who have the same interests as you. People with the same interests actually are really fun people to be with, because when you guys have the same interests, you guys have the same goal, and when you guys have the same goal, you can try to help each other, build each other up, in order for you to advance further and further in your craft. So that's what happens when you build a community. When you build a community, or if you join a community, you feel like you belong to something. And I think a lot of people want that. You want to feel belonged. You want to be part of this friend group. That's probably the reason why we watch sitcoms. Like every now and then, you watch sitcoms because you want to feel like you belong to something. And that's also how it feels like when you want to be friends. So try to find also a community that, like a community of artists, or basically a community of people. Like for example, you like the certain movie, or you like the certain book, go to a community. You could find probably a Facebook page or going on a Discord server and just have fun, make friends. And if you already have friends, well, try your best to actually meet up with those who actually have the same goals as you do. That's what you can take for inspiration, because you're giving inspiration to them as they do their craft, but you're also giving they're giving inspiration as well to yourself. So it's a mutual benefit. Like, that's great, right? And that's also, it's free, because while you're building each other up, without having to pay anything. That's really, really cool. Something that I would like you guys to learn from this video is that try to find your inspiration. I'm not going to be the one to judge you. I'm not going to say, oh, you can do this and that, because honestly, each person's inspiration is different from what another person's inspiration is. My inspiration, for example, comes from characters or people, because I like drawing people. But maybe your inspirations could be possibly like animals, or even landscapes, or even probably Pokemon. Like, whatever your inspiration is, I want you to find it, because that's what's gonna fuel you. And once you get fueled up, you're gonna start having this energy. You're gonna start having this motivation. You're gonna have this inspiration that you can start doing the things that you want to do, because you can't actually do things that you don't have motivation for. And I think also for people who are experienced just like me, or like have some experience with art, is that sure, there are times that we have this thing, and if you go to the art community, we have this thing called art block. Art block is one of the worst things. It's like being sick, but then you feel all right. For art block, it's hard because like we can't seem to draw, or we can't seem to find motivation in it. But that's because we are being burnt out because of the lack of inspiration that we have. So another thing for more experienced artists is take a break, because that's where you get inspiration. Because if you keep drawing, you're gonna eventually get burned out. If you keep using a car, even if it's just being gonna be fueled, like even if you fill up the tank of a car and but you still use it, it's still gonna eventually go down. But then if you use that car while you're fueling it up, of course you're not the fuel's going to get burned eventually. It's going to destroy the car, and it's eventually going to destroy, well, it's going to destroy your whole experience. You're going to lose the car's energy faster. So it's the same thing with art block. Art block is basically when you're thinking that I can draw, I can do this, I want to do this, I want to do whatever happens. So you have that, but then when you try to put it on paper, and if your inspiration starts to lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower until the sense that it fluctuates, you're gonna start feeling tired. You're gonna start feeling burnout. So a good thing that us, and even myself as an experienced artist, you have to have your inspiration. You have to take some time off. Like, you don't always have to draw every day of your life, but you can also just relax, chill, watch a movie, play a game, probably go out, take a hike, touch some grass, and you're gonna find that you are starting to get inspired. It's gonna take a while with some people. It can probably take even faster for others, but all you have to do is try to ease yourself. Because sure, art might be, for example, it might be your job, it might be something that you want to work with. You're probably trying to fill out yourself on social media. Like myself, I'm trying to fill myself out in whatever platform I'm using. But if you're gonna get burned out, you're gonna end up making content that no one will probably care, or probably you won't find joy in making. So one thing I'm gonna say, you got your pen, drop it, probably take a step back, go and get a snack, probably eat, take a hike, and that's how you can easily find your inspiration. And that's honestly gonna help a lot of people. So for people who are beginning, or probably taking it as a hobby, find that inspiration and try to make it move on whatever you're doing. If you're probably experienced, probably know this already, or if you're a professional, go ahead and take a break. Because I advise you take a break. It helped me a lot. When I was younger, I used to draw, and I filled sketchbooks less than 3 months. But now I can't seem to finish one sketchbook over a year. I would finish like half of it. But that's all right, because I know that I can get tired, especially now that I'm getting a bit older and everything. But once I start having that motivation, because if I get inspired of whatever happens, I can create something that's even better than just creating something that's, I just want to create. But another good thing as well as for inspiration is to switch things up. Alright, so we can, what do I mean by switch things up? When you switch things up, I'm basically saying, don't draw the exact same thing, because you're gonna get burned out with all that inspiration, with all that. You're not gonna get inspired anymore because you see the same old thing. So when you switch things up, you're gonna find yourself drawing different things and getting interested in a lot of other things as well. And inspiration isn't always in one factor. It starts off as one factor and basically jumpstarts you so that you can get interested in other things as well. So that's how I got inspiration. Big points for this. Big points for this. Engage yourselves in the community. Look at nature. Draw whatever you're interested. Draw whatever you like. Find your spark and switch things up a bit. All right. And also remember, it's okay to rest. Another thing. All right, it's okay to rest, because sometimes we just need to know how to fuel ourselves. If you find this video helpful, and if you like more chill videos like this, let me know. And at the same time, comment down below if you like chill videos. If there's any points that I missed, put it in the comments below. Or you have any insights from this that you gained, I would love to hear it from you. And if you guys liked the video, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing because it helps me out a lot. Alright, thank you guys, and see you in the next video. Peace.